And we're live. Hello and welcome to the fourth update for the hexconference.com work group. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin, with host TMoney.
What's up, guys? Awesome. I'm doing always awesome.
Yeah, you're doing so much stuff right now.
Oh my God, the run up is so awesome.
There's so much to talk about. So Hex is hitting just about all-time highs, it seems, and all of the rest of crypto is not. We've got FreedomTV.info putting out content almost every day. We've got Tony out there delivering supercars to people with amazing hex wraps on them. I mean, we got the road trip going on that FreedomTV.info is working on with Kryptosparbach, Abed, and Patrick. I saw them on all the shows popping up all over Hex, and so it's really exciting. And I know the audience is excited, and so people hit the like and subscribe button here and on all the other channels that we have linked below for Tony and Freedom TV and the US Road Trip, etc., etc.,
etc., etc. So what do you want to talk about first? I mean, how about we talk about the price first, the run up? That's exciting to me.
Sure.
It's been a good month, I would say. You know, we had a run up to 51 cents. It was 51 cents did we hit, or 50 cents? I know we hit 50 cents. And then of course, you know, we have the correction. But now it's been going up again to 40. I think we're 44 cents right now. Is that where we're at?
We're at 47 cents, man.
47. Holy crap. Yeah, I know.
You've been in too many meetings.
2 hours ago and it was at 44. So
yeah, that's old. That's like a month ago in Bitcoin terms. Look, I'm wearing my Bitcoin shirt.
Oh, nice.
Bitcoin, it's disintegrating, and then there's just Hex after that right over here.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
It disintegrates into
oblivion.
Into Hex, yeah.
Into Hex, yes. That's great. Man, it's just you know, I've been talking to the boys at Kryptosparbach, and they're so adamant. Their price prediction, it's $7 and by convention. So that's what their price prediction is.
Yeah, I also heard them on one of their streams say something like, what happens if we go above $7 while we're still on the road trip? And then somebody else was like, raise your price. Like,
right.
And so, and I don't know, people say that I'm psychic or something now, but ever since I predicted the origin address or whatever would sacrifice 10 billion Hex, and it, you know, people thought it was going to be 0. The real number ended up being 13 billion. But anyway, my prediction when Wales and I started our show 35 weeks ago, he and I sat down and said $10.01 by the end of the year. And that was when we were at 0.7 of a cent. And so you could go back on that thumbnail, and it's the same it's always been from all the way back then.
It's I think it's plausible, right? I mean, right?
Yes.
So
oh my gosh. Yeah, like people have no idea what Pulse is gonna do with this liquidity matching, and it's gonna beat up Ethereum and take its lunch money and then take all of its Ethereum along with it, you know?
I could see that. So, I mean, I can really see that. So your prediction is going to be more than $7 by the end of the year. And also the drop. When is Pulse dropping?
I will will back myself up with facts and or speculation. Okay. Because I'm not just like, I think the theme of Hex TV shows is that we are not the furus, right, that came before us. And we're not getting paid by sponsors to tell you the price of something that's going to go up. We're streaming about this because we care about the topic, because we know more about it than just about anybody. And, you know, we're here to bring people together to make the world a better place, to support the community. Like, you know, that's what Tony and I sacrifice all of our time and money for these days, is for this community. And it's awesome. It feels awesome to be able to do that. And
we
do
lucky. It. We gladly do it. I mean, with these gains, why not, right? Let's give back to the community. That pretty much, you know, we're all one, right? It's like we're the staker class, right? If you're in the staker class, if you're a trader, no, you're not a Hexican yet. You got to get your 5555 for me to consider you a Hexican. So you show me your 5555, you're committed. Absolutely, you're a Hexican to me. So
there's a link below, quattrocincos.club, and it's a front end for Hex that future us and I made, and it only does Cuatro Cincos. So
it's one of the things that I love is if you guys go to FreedomTV.info YouTube channel, there's a little bit of, there's a small video, and it's called "What is it? What is it about like Hexican? What does it take to be a Hexican?" Right? And you guys got to watch it. It's actually very heartfelt, and it's very true, and I really love that interview that they did. So it was awesome.
So I said I was going to back up my call that it's going to be easy to hit $10 by the end of the year, and we might go way higher. And the reason is that so let's look at the liquidity, right? Like, let's look at the actual math of what would pump the Hex price. And if we look at the liquidity, I've been hearing people say it's like down to something ridiculous, like $40 million worth or something. And it's drying up. It's going away. Yeah. I retweeted something where it was showing the amount of liquidity going down over like some years, or not, well, over the past few months actually. And it is wild how much the liquidity is disappearing. Now, what does that do? What that does is it makes it so that somebody, if they were a billionaire in crypto and they didn't feel like they got enough respect lately, and they had so much money that they could buy lots of Rolexes and things that they didn't need, that symbolize time, by the way, the time value of money. And all of a sudden, the liquidity dries up. People can do their pulse shenanigans, right? People can start gambling on Pulse, Pulse Network, all the ERC 20s that are now PRC 20s and stuff. And surprise, the price of Hex just went up 10x in one day because somebody bought all of the liquidity. They pushed the price against themselves. And then here's something really interesting. I don't think I've ever said live. What if you had an extra $1 billion sitting around in Hex and USDC, so you could actually lock the liquidity at a super high price, then get all of the Hexicans to cash out who have liquid Hex, and then drive it even higher? So liquidity, so the price, like price volatility, normally you can't sustain a 10x move in one day, right? Because there's not enough liquidity there for you to trade with. Right. You start pushing the price against yourself. But if somebody's adding liquidity while they're buying all of it up, that's a super advanced like game theory stealth move. And I think it's possible. I really do. I really think you don't think that OA does that? Richard spent hours talking about liquidity, and then nobody's talked about it since. Right. And so I see everything lining up. Right. It's wild. And I could be wrong. This isn't financial advice. I'm just speculating as to what moves could happen based on my understanding of markets.
So my understanding, and like I said, we don't know. I don't know if this is true, but this is my speculation. It's all speculation. This is my opinion. It's not financial advice. Now, so when we went into the sacrifice phase, right? So all this hex was pulled together, right? That was the number one coin that people used to sacrifice. Yes or no?
For Pulse to sacrifice, yes.
Yeah. So obviously there's a wallet out there that has all this hex, right? Or hex sacrificed from hex, right? So what are they going to do with all that hex, especially now that it's at 45, 50 cents, right?
What are they going to do with it?
Yep. Think about it.
Sit on it.
Well, they're sitting on it now, obviously, but what is going to happen to it?
I think it's just going to sit there. What do you think is going to happen?
I think what you were describing, creating liquidity pools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when Pulse drops, it's going to need a liquidity pool, right?
Yes. But
especially in the Pulse hex exchange, right?
Yes.
So obviously, some of that has to be done that way. And that's why I feel, obviously when Pulse drops, it's going to be zero. But once there's an exchange on Uniswap, right? Or any kind of bridge happens, they're got to have someone has to put liquidity into it so that an MMA, right? Money market, marker.
AMA,
right?
automated market maker. Yeah, or AMM, sorry. Not ask me anything, AMM, automated market maker.
There you go. So there's got to be a money market maker, right? So, So who better than the holder of the sacrifice?
But it would be considered a rug pull if you only added the hex side of the liquidity. And so the other side needs to be added. And so you're right. There could be some surprises when it comes to like how the value of hex props up the value of Pulse.
Right.
Because we don't know.
There's not
we don't know which one the OA wants to be scarce.
But and so there's the other coins that would have, some of the, especially the other crap coins that were in the sacrifice phase, right? So why not dump on those coins, get USDC, right? Exchange it to make liquidity pools for Hex.
Well, yeah, there's already
USDC.
There's already, we know, 1 billion USDC that was sacrificed. And so the real question is like, even if you move the price higher, how much liquidity do the OGs actually even have? And even the new people who do a 10x move, some have kept liquid, but that's all on chain. So the person who's trying to make the market more valuable, not so they can dump it, but just for the benefit of others, is going to be looking at things like that.
Right.
They're going to know things that we haven't figured out because we haven't looked. And they're going to keep hooking it up. I think that's the move because that's what we've seen so far.
So when you put it in a liquidity pool, right, mainly it's going to sit there, right? So it's going to work.
No, that's why there's a day between when Pulse launches and when we can trade it, is because if there's an imbalance in a liquidity pool, then arbitrage happens and all that value gets removed. It gets taken. And that's what's going to happen on the Ethereum chain that people, I haven't heard anybody else talk about because maybe I'm not like describing it well enough, or maybe other people haven't really caught on to, or maybe some people think like we shouldn't be talking about it, but I just talk about everything I think of.
We're just speculating, right? I mean, we're just,
but we're just putting
things on the wall and see what sticks.
I'm literally basing all of my theories about what Hex is going to do based on clues that Richard has dropped that I can point to, and I can say, go back to the videos where and some of them weren't even on his channel, right? The time that he spoke the most epically about liquidity and the power, I think what he was talking about was taking all the value off the Ethereum chain and putting it on Pulse, basically because people don't understand liquidity pools, and even the markets don't. And so that was on BitBoy's stream. I think it was the second one he went on in the morning.
So what happens when those billion Hex, you're right, it's never going to move. It's going to just create LPs liquidity pools, right?
Or not. It doesn't have to create a liquidity pool.
Right. I mean, however, in theory, right? Let's say it does.
So what I'm talking about, though,
which it stabilizes the E-Hex and the Pulse Hex side.
If you take $1 billion worth of USDC and you only take 50 million of it, and you try to market buy Hex, right? Only 50 million of it, right? 1/20th of that can send the price, like 4 times higher if you're buying out the whole book and pushing it against yourself. And then you still only get half the book, right? So really for $40 million, you get half the book. And then so you've already doubled it. So now you need only half as much Hex to stay in there to match with this much. And so you just keep ratcheting up, right? What's the last thing Richard said on the stream that he did this week? He said, well, what if Bitcoin is just ratcheting up the price of actually, I've been listening to old streams too, so it might have been on an old Tom Gillespie stream or something, but it's yeah, I mean, like, he's talking about, oh, what if all the price moves in Bitcoin are just ratcheting up the price over time? He's got a master plan. I think it's going to benefit others. I think it's going to set the crypto space right, because what are you going to do when you create the only real crypto and everything else around in crypto, even Ethereum, is scamming people because it's saying that it's a world computer, but then it's acting like a store of value. And so Vitalik won't dump his coins to fix the problem with the miners. If those coins were worth nothing, those miners would back off and proof of stake would happen on Ethereum much faster. But for some reason, Vitalik is, but because he doesn't want to feel bad about dumping people's bags. So many noobs bought into Ethereum. If he dumped the price down to nothing, then they would all be wrecked. So it's a lose-lose situation for Ethereum. They're being held hostage by this, by this security racket. And, so yeah, we need to free the value on that network. And I think that's what's going to happen. I really think that when you have a network that's 4 times as fast and has liquidity bridges with everything that matters, all of a sudden people just start using the thing that works instead of the thing that is expensive. And then the thing that's expensive, even if it starts to lose value, then arbitrage could happen, different stuff with liquidity pools. So, yeah, anyway, I know that's all really exciting to me to see.
It is. I mean, it's just mind blowing. You can theorize a lot of things, but we're not in the we're not in Richard Hart's brain. So, we're gonna. I guess we got to wait and see what's gonna happen. So
yeah, and
we know things for fact. Pulse is gonna they're gonna airdrop Pulse. There's gonna be a snapshot. You want to be prepared with your MetaMask ERC tokens, liquid or even hex staked. They're going to clone, right? They're going to be snapshots and cloned onto the Pulse network. That's what we do know. So get prepared, guys.
Hex doesn't need Richard Hart to buy more.
No.
Even though he keeps hinting about it. Hex doesn't need richer to buy more. And so the pumps that we're seeing are natural pumps. They're happening in the free market. They're happening in a transparent marketplace that's never existed before, where this much value is being time locked into the future to pay your future self. And that's one of the themes that I'm wanting to use for marketing, is paying your future self, because I think that relates to Hex therapy and Hex. It relates to mental health and people getting financially healthy. And so that's why I bought a DeLorean. And
You bought the DeLorean?
I bought the DeLorean. It's in.
What?
Yes. It's in the
Is this your first time announcing this?
This, I have hinted here and there. I've said it, but I'm saying it now.
For sure.
Loud and clear.
You got it. It's in your possession.
It is in the top 5% of best preserved DeLoreans in the world. And it was my uncle, who goes to church with a guy who owns one of the 3 facilities that, restores these things for the actual, as a part of the actual DeLorean Motor Company, which still exists. And yeah, so
are you going to go back? You're going to go on your DeLorean and go into the future to your future self and tell them everything's going to be okay.
Perfect price predictions on the US road trip, because that's where I'm taking it. I want to get it out there so people can, take pictures, think about the symbol of like paying your future self and how valuable that can be. And that should be like the thing that brings together the new people and the old people. Because the old people, they thank their past self, and the new people, they pay their future self. And at the end of the day, then everybody is on the same page and does better.
So are you going to join us on our tour?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm going to join in Boise, and I'm going to go to at least a quarter of the stops, if not all of them.
Well, definitely we need to call all Hexicans on Boise, Idaho. So I think we're going to be there. Wow, let me pull up my calendar for the tour.
10/13.
10/13, is that when this?
That's right. October 13th.
Yeah, guys, if you guys want to know when, where, and who, just go to FreedomTV.info. We got the calendar there. Just click on the day, and if it still says to be determined, is because we still are locking in the venue. All right, just give us some time to lock in those venues. We apologize. We had a little bit of a rough start. However, we're on full cylinders now. I mean, we had an awesome LA. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about the tour, right? So we had a rough patch at first. I mean, so let me go back in time. Maddie, you were there when we dreamt this up, right?
I was sitting there at lunch at the Hex restaurant,
right
across the street from
at
the
meetup. Right?
Yes, at the meetup. So this is June 25th, 2021, a day that will, forever be in history.
In infamy, right?
Yes.
So, and so I remember you were saying, "Hey, we should get it." I mean, it was Patrick, and ALLin was not in the restaurant. So Patrick was he? No, because he was. Wasn't he sick?
Yeah.
He was, he was a little under the weather, but he was still. And Patrick says, "I go, hey, after the meetup, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? Now that you're semi-retired or whatever you want to call it." And he's like, "Oh yes," with his German accent, or I'm sorry, Austrian accent. He's like, "Oh yes, I want to go. I want to see the world. I want to go on tour. I'm a tourist. This is my first time ever being in the United States." And I was like, the best way to see the United States, the land of the free, is to get on a caravan and drive the whole way. And he's like, "That sounds awesome." I go, "Great." So Maddie gets on his phone. He's like, "Great, let's find him a car."
Yeah.
What was the car that we wanted to get?
Because that's the part they couldn't, they weren't sure of, was like, oh, are they going to like, could they lease a car, or did they have to buy one and then they have to sell it? I was like, let's go on Craigslist right now. So we found a Crown Vic,
a Crown Victoria,
police car
Interceptor.
And I was like, yeah, go for it. You could even wrap it and shit, and so, everybody was thinking the same awesome ideas all at the same time. It was like a group aha moment. And that's when Tony started offering, his help to facilitate and to really grow it.
Put on a 300, 300 Hexican meetup, I could probably put on a tour.
Yeah. And so you and Kryptosparbach really put your heads together, put your teams together. You guys dreamed up the, biggest, most Hexican way to do this.
Right.
And it is continuing to grow. I mean, it's really amazing what you guys are doing. I know everybody's behind you.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I mean, and then after that started, at first it was kind of a what if, but then it became wait a minute. The price just went up to, 5 cents, 3 cents. Now it's at 10 cents. It's something that we can do.
Oh yeah.
We have bags that we have enough bags to do it for the community. And so it converted into from a what if to, I think we can do this, to holy crap, it's happening.
Yeah.
To we're on a mission, guys. We're really we're evangelizing on a mission, doing workshops and onboarding people in 40 plus cities near you. Because what we noticed at the meetup is that we had different people. We had OGs and we had newbies. We had in-betweeners. We had dolphins. We had whales. We had, squids. If you know your state rap, well, so.
And the energy
was great.
Happening. It doesn't matter if you're new or old. It seems like people, they're all excited to be in real life with Hexicans. OGs know each other's struggle, right? And new people, they want these mad gains and all the other things that they see the community enjoying. So
I'm going to date myself. I don't know if it's definitely a cannonball run. If you remember that movie. So we're on we're speeding to $7, right? Or $10, as Maddie said, to Hex. So I don't know. I mean, it's just been really awesome. Then we had the community behind us, which is awesome. We wrapped the Pulse, the Audi. So the reason why it was not a police interceptor, because we went to go buy the car. Actually, we were going to buy the car. We were that.
I know, yeah.
And the only reason why we didn't, the kid, it was a kid. He didn't have the title with him. He's
you need the title.
I go, dude, you need a title for us to buy this cash, And we were, and he was willing to accept cryptocurrency, USDC coin.
Oh, I bet.
We're gonna do right there, but he didn't have the title, and I was like, look, when you get the title, we're all good. So it's insane. So that's the only reason why. And then that's when we started going back.
So that was huge. That was actually a really good thing.
Yeah, I think so, because we went back to the drawing board, and I go, guys, what kind of car do you want to ride in the next 6 months? You're probably going to be farting on each other, right? And in the car, and like Dutch ovens. So what do you want to drive in style, right? And say, yeah. And she's like, yeah, we want to drive in style. So I was like, obviously, because they're from Austria and Germany, they said, we need Audis. We need Audis. I go, great. You want Audis? We'll get you Audis. So the first one was the Q7. That was Patrick's pick. So that's why we got the Q7. He wanted something in driving style. I mean, that car is brand spanking new, right off the lot. we wrapped it in the pulse chain, because it's utility. We wanted SUV utility, right?
Yes.
Style, and that's why it's wrapped in pulse.
I need to bring up the pictures for these.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll take me a second, but
no problem. I'll keep on going.
Yeah.
So then we were saying, well, we need to film this because, so Barry Rainmaker, that was his brainchild. He's like, we really need to film this. We need to document it for posterity.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
hell yeah.
He's the one that actually stepped to the plate, and he got the Ford Expedition. He's like, if we're gonna be driving in America, we need to be in an American car. That's quote
right.
unquote, right? So he got the biggest Ford ever, biggest car, American car built ever, which is the Ford Expedition Max, right? Brand spanking new, right off the lot. It's plush. It's got the black rims. It's beautiful, man. That's a man car, I say. So it's beautiful. It's nice. And we wrapped that, and because we were like, okay, who can hold all our bags? Who can hold all our bags, and we can like wrap it? And it was Steak Wrap. That's who can hold all our bags. So that's why we reached out to Stefan, and we said, hey guys, you want to sponsor us, or I don't know, what do you want to contribute? They pretty much stepped up to the plate and said, let's do this. That's right. It's a Ford Hexpedition. That's right. So that was exciting. We wrapped it in, and
did nobody think of that yet?
Right? I didn't. That's the first time I heard of that. So, and it's just the community's just been responding, the support that they've been giving us, and of course, ALLin Bittner, A-Bit, he said, you know what, we need a sports car for Hex, because that one's the one that's speeding us into the future wealth. So I said, well, what do you want? And he's like, I want an R8 Spider, Audi. Man, you don't understand how difficult it was to get that car. It was not easy, but we did it.
This is a rare car, especially in today's markets, huh?
Yeah, because of past import export corona stuff, the Cerveza thing going on. There's not a whole lot of supply. There hasn't been shipments going on. So I kid you not, I went to 4 different dealerships, 4 different ones. And they were like, nope, we don't got anything. Like, I go, do you even got a used one? Nope, we don't got nothing. The one that I was like banking on, I called up the dealership, and he's like, okay, we got one. It's being shipped, blah, 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 blah. So that's the pulse chain. That's the Q7.
Oh, we got to see this. Epic.
Kane is in the building.
Oh shit, my YouTube's getting a ban. It's okay.
That's beautiful. They're beautiful cars. Look at that.
Kane is in the building.
So that's what I mean by we had a little bit of a rough start. That's Patrick. That's ALLin right there. They're dressed for success. That was at the Marriott. We did the event there, the workshop in San Francisco. I think it was awesome. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, the R8, we finally got it. It was a little late. Unfortunately, we didn't have it in the San Diego event, and I had to drive it down to LA. We actually wrapped it in LA area. Shout out to DH Graphics. They're the ones that wrapped the R8. They're in Murrieta, California. They did an excellent job. They did it in 3 days. We dropped it off on a Friday, and by Tuesday, Wednesday, it was all done. It was sweet. That's all I can say. It was sweet. I mean, that thing is a rocket on wheels. Seriously, that. So I drove it from Vegas to LA. I mean, it was like a little rocket on wheels. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me continue the slideshow here.
Sure.
Can you see? Oh, it's not sharing that. Okay, just a second.
No, it's fine.
This is vital history that hasn't been shared anywhere else, people. You're hearing it here first.
Yeah. We haven't even explained it. So that's the Hex car. I mean, it's beautiful, man.
Epic.
It's epic, dude. It's just wonderful. I mean, and then it has Discord Syndicate on the window. That's the sponsors that wrap the car. It was actually RG3's friend from DH Graphics that his name is Dan, that wrapped the car. Excellent guys. If you want to wrap your cars, that's the place to go. DH Graphics in Murrieta, California, off of Jefferson Street. So, anyways, I mean, I'm a happy camper. Now it's all about getting people in. Our first workshop was in Vegas. We onboarded 15 new Hexicans.
How many?
In San Diego at the Pacific Coast Highway workshop, we onboarded about 24 new Hexicans.
Did you say the first one was 15 or 50?
15, 15, yeah.
15?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be exponential growth, I bet.
That's right. It's 24 in San Diego. In the Vineyard one was really not I mean, we did have a little bit of a workshop, but it was more of a meetup at the Vineyard, kind of like to chill and have drinks and kind of meet up. It was pretty suave. They had a great Airbnb. After that, we went to Anaheim. You know, I know it's not LA, but Anaheim is kind of in the middle of everybody. So it was at the Marriott Anaheim convention. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, dude, it's beautiful. That's the one. That's actually at the parking lot when we picked it up. So they picked it up right on the parking lot. So awesome. And that's the road trip, guys. You can click on one of your dates. By the way, some of the dates are going to be changing as needed because, depending on the venue and whatnot. So what you can really rely on when you go to the FreedomTV.info is the calendar. So we'll be updating the calendar for updates, and you can click on it. You can RSVP. The workshops are free, my friends. So there's no ticket sales there or anything like that. It's just RSVP for us so we know how many chairs to put out. That's the only thing. And of course, that we get the right venue for you guys. So if you can RSVP, that'll be awesome, just so we know how many people are going to be. Bring your new people. It's really for them, so that they can get an opportunity to onboard and explain what Hex is all about, with definitely our experts, Kryptosparbach, which is Patrick and ALLin. And
I'm gonna be pressuring all of you OGs to meet up with me on the stops I make, because that's what it's all about. And if you haven't met up with Hexicans yet, then you're about to find out what the rest of us already know and why you see us all meeting up everywhere all the time. So
obviously on the culmination of this whole road trip is to our convention, to our Hexpo. So we're going to have the cars on display there at the Hexpo. If you want to touch it, feel it, if you didn't catch them, for whatever reason, you didn't catch them when they come to your city, or maybe they didn't come, we didn't have it your stop on our way. You can definitely catch us in the Vegas at the Hexpo. So yeah, you can, we're going to have them there displayed. You can sit in them. You can, feel the power. So, definitely get on board. So what's also what I wanted to tell you guys, I mean, it's just everybody in the community in Anaheim. We met with Purple, and shout out to our actually, and then we had one in Riverside already. Shout out RG3 came out, which is nice to that workshop. So definitely, please, OG Hexicans, come on out. If we're in your backyard, please get a hold of us at IAM at FreedomTV.info. Just shoot us an email. Tell us what stop you guys want to organize or be part of, or we're taking in. By the way, we're if you want to donate, that's up to you guys. If you guys want to donate, you can arrange that. However, but we're really not looking for money donations, because it's well funded. The Kryptosparbach, the guys from the Patrick and ALLin, they're funding this. They're funding this on their own dime. They're so grateful on what it's done to them. So
and people who are asking in the comments, we're asking you to go to the official channels. This channel is not able to answer all the questions, because we want everybody's question to get answered. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go to t.me/US road trip, and you're going to go to FreedomTV.info. Yeah. And then there's one that's like a chat, which actually is probably the best place to ask your question. So I'm glad we're covering this. And this is, I think it's US road trip chat. Yeah, there it is. And I'm going to share that.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, depending on the border controls to Canada, most likely right now, we're not going to go to Canada, unfortunately. And it's not because we don't want to go, obviously, is because of immigration and border controls they got going on right now. So if they open up, maybe, but it's kind of a tall order. I don't know. Plus, because Canada is very strict on doing business in Canada. The boys are on a tourist visa, so we don't want them going out of the country and then they can't go back into the country, into the US.
Tony, 48 cents. Are you kidding me?
Wow. It went up a cent just by talking about the road show, baby. Woo!
We're on it.
We're on it, baby. So
here's the US road trip chat Telegram. Yep. That's where you're going to ask your questions. And it's not that we can't answer your questions here. It's that we want everybody to see the answer all in one place, where it's actually the people who are doing all the planning themselves, where Tony's more involved with the planning than I am. But you can see things are really coming together. And every 2 weeks when you tune in to the Maddie and Tony show, you are getting updates on pretty much everything that's happening, but pretty much, focused on the community and focused on the meetups and the conferences and the road trips. And we might talk about price just because we're both smart and enjoy talking about it. But
we do. I do.
I don't see any complaints. Best site to check the price on is nomics.com.
Yeah. So, well, that's pretty much the US road trip. Shout out to all the people that have contributed. It's awesome. Staker app was a big one. Discord Syndicate was another one with the Hex car and the R8. Mainly it was the cost of wrapping the car. So that's where the contribution came in. So all this stuff costs. And of course, if you want to contribute, definitely put it out there in the chat on the US road trip chat. Get with Rainmaker, Barry the Rainmaker, for real. He's doing a lot of the he's on the tour, by the way. So right now he's back in Vegas, seeing his kids, but he's going to be the whole way. He's going to go the whole way. Also, we onboarded. Now we have new hands. We got Rob. We got Julio doing our editing. We have Agapa Hex. He's doing a lot of the camera work too, filming. We got Black Hex, Super K. I call her Super K because she's an awesome lady. She's a huge supporter of us, and she's, she just showed up in Vegas, and she's been to every single one, and she's like, I want to help. I say, awesome. So all she asked for was her hotels to be paid for, and we said okay. And now she's our coordinator. She's the one that does all the registration table. She coordinates our venues,
Right.
and she's going to be on every stop. So she's going with us the whole way, the whole 6 months. So shout out to her too. We love her. I mean, she's an awesome lady. She's got 3 kids of her own. So she left home. Her husband let her say, you guys go with a bunch of dudes and, wrangle them. So, so she's been she's been organizing us really, really well.
Awesome.
There on the tour. So anyways, you can definitely catch them on the chats once, and you can ask your questions. They can answer them. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's just unbelievable what we're doing. I mean, we're really on a mission. We're evangelizing new pump up and new Hexicans to get onboarded. And of course, we're going to do, so there are going to be meetups. So meetups are not workshops. So let me explain the difference. Meetups are just chilling. You guys just meet the guys, look at the cars, have some drinks and some food. Usually those are going to be like in a restaurant or a bar, that kind of thing, or a vineyard like we did in San Diego. But the workshops are going to be usually in hotels or in venues. They're going to be very professional. If you go to our channel, we've been disseminating. They're very professional, and they have the PowerPoint presentation. They explain and go what's cryptocurrency. They explain a little bit on, for the newbies that has no idea. So it's a really good place to start with people that don't know anything about Hex. Even if you want to bring your skeptics, your people that that still on the fence about getting into Hex. So definitely get with them and bring them to the workshop. It's better because you could see other Hexicans there and the OG Hexicans, and you can kind of feel the energy, and that you're not just a standalone person, that all these people are not bots that are staking, right? So definitely get to your local workshop when we get there. Now, if you guys want to join the road trip and grab on your own car, you're more than welcome to get on the bandwagon. If you want to wrap your own car, absolutely. It's open. You can follow us to every single workshop if you want to. Also, if you're already a dolphin, right? I believe this was the year of the dolphin, right? So if you have your bags kind of pumped up and you're ready to, like, I'm done, I'm retired. Now what am I going to do? Like, get on the bandwagon, get your cannonball run, and get your own car, wrap your own car if you want to. You don't have to. It's all up to you. It's very organic. So let's do it. Just like Matty, he got his DeLorean, right? So are you gonna wrap it? You better not wrap that. I think it's just
I'm gonna make sure people know what it's for.
Well, I mean, I would say put it maybe something on the window, but that car is iconic.
It is.
So I mean,
it's about to be even more iconic because
right. Are you going to put like
time deposit,
Hex and Pulse on the windows or on the side of the door?
Well, yeah, you're going to help me, and then we're going to surprise people. How about that?
Uh-oh. Am I going to get more stuff to do? Absolutely, for you guys, Hexicans. Yeah. TMoney will do anything for the Hexicans.
I think we're gonna have fun with this one.
Nice. So there was how much it is the cost to wrap? It depends on the car because they usually quote you on by the square inch or square feet. So it can range between $2,500 to $3,500 to wrap a car. So
look at these beauties.
yeah, actually the most expensive one was actually the Staker app one because it has more square footage.
Yeah, look at how amazing that is.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Actually, the cheapest, I would say I don't want to say it's cheap, but the less expensive of the three cars was the Pulse, the Q7 actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the R8 was a little bit more pricier, not because of because it had less square footage, but it's because it has all of the how to say when they wrapped it, they have all the emblems and everything they had to take off. It's a lot. It was a lot more tedious work.
Yeah. Awesome. So yes, that's gonna be the hype leading up to the conference.
Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, that leads up to the conference. So let's talk about the conference.
Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks since we talked about the conference.
Yep.
And so much has been happening. I have sent out invitations to everybody who spoke at the first Hex conference. And the response has been overwhelming.
It's been good.
So we've got our speakers signing up, and we've got our conference renamed, right? Because we love the name pulsehex.com, but because it's easy to remember, and because we all know about Pulse and Hex, and we all pretty much like Pulse and Hex, so that would be things we could talk about at the conference. But when I got feedback from other leaders in the community, I found that people don't have as much to present about Pulse yet, although we will have Pulse presentations at the conference. But also, we just needed something that was easy to remember and told you exactly what you were getting. So that's why we went with hexconference.com. Easy. Hexconference.com.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go there now, and it's going to take you to my blog post that shows you everything you want to see that's been announced yet. Let's see. So hexconference.com is the overall name and gets you to this landing page for the program that goes to the online conference that'll be happening January 6th through 9th. And then the in-person conference, which will be happening 6 to 9 in Las Vegas. And so you can see that the name for where you're going to go is built into the name of the conference, hexpo.online and hexpo.vegas. And why Hexpo? Well, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So an expo that's the World Fair. That's what everybody outside of the United States calls the World Fair, the World Expo. And so Expo is known around the world as a place where great inventions have been unveiled to humanity. For example, electricity was first made popular, and people found out about it because of the World Fair that year. We think Hex is just as important of an invention as electricity. And most of the people who go to the conference are already going to understand that, but then the rest of the world's probably going to be watching, right? And so that's the cool thing about putting together a bunch of experts and being able to present really the best, what the best minds in Hex have to offer in terms of educating people and really taking them to that deep level and back so that people can onboard others and become financially free, right? If that's the goal. so that people can be their own bank and get all of the all the promises that crypto has made, it hasn't delivered on in one product until Hex. And you've got teams of Bitcoin developers still working to make that code work. And there is no developer working on the base layer of Hex because it's a finished product and it launched as such, and it's not a security. And so it's there's a lot to explain because this is an invention like electricity, and most people still don't understand electricity, right? People still don't understand, Ohm's law tells you how resistance and current moves on a circuit, and Hart's law tells you how liquidity moves on a blockchain in a digital free market economy. And so we want everybody involved. We want you to attend if you're willing to sacrifice $369. That could probably become more valuable if you bought Hex, but that's why we have a warning here at the bottom of the page that says you're still early in crypto. And if you were one of the first people to buy Bitcoin, it would have been better than if you bought tickets to the first Bitcoin meetup. But nevertheless, there are a lot of people who have become incredibly wealthy from Hex, and a lot of people who, they are fortunate enough to afford to be able to buy a ticket. And then there are going to be some ticket giveaways, but I want to stress that we are going to run out of tickets, and the giveaways aren't going to be enough to get a ticket to everybody. So go ahead and follow the instructions here to make sure that you join t.me/Hex conference, because that's where we're going to do important updates. And then you can get your tickets now from hexticket.com. We're releasing 36 tickets each week on QuantGang on Tuesdays. And then your ticket actually is really just a fundraising ticket where you're sacrificing the funds. And then we're airdropping you a ticket to the physical conference. And what that does is it allows us to spend all the money on the conference before it happens, so that you get to enjoy it instead of creating debt, which is part of borrowing from your future self, something that we're not trying to promote, so that we're asking that the conference fund itself. And so it's a little bit weird because normally you can just go to a middleman and buy a ticket, as late as you want for something. In this case, the quality of the conference will get better and better the earlier we collect all the funds. And so if we have to release more tickets early, we might. But really right now, if we're not selling out, then, we are. I mean, we're already selling out. And so that's why I kind of want to take both sides. I don't want people to wait, but I also want people to remember that, that you can do your part by buying a ticket now. And that will increase greatly the effects, our ability to put on what we're putting on. And so you can see, let me see, there's the, I realized when I was making the initial marketing stuff for this, that I wasn't using pictures that show you how big the building is.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that's the World Market Center right there.
That's
There's
right.
actually 4 buildings.
And there's 4 buildings there. And we've got one of them there
it's the smaller one, which is the flat one in the back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've got, it's so exciting to be, at a place where, I think the square footage and everything is bigger than the Bitcoin conference. I know that we can get the actual specifications on that before we make claims.
So Maddie, we secured the place, right? It's the Expo. It's the Expo Convention Center, World Market Center.
Yes.
And it's so the whole building is 200,000 square feet. However, we are using 100,000 square feet of that space for our expo. So maybe actually 100,000, a little bit plus, because we do have the breakout sessions, right?
Yeah.
And then also we're gonna have the party. We're gonna have a nice little party, nightclub party, that we're gonna do ourselves. And then also we're gonna do. Are we still doing the sky view?
Oh yeah.
All right, nice. So there's a nice little. We're gonna do a nice little.
Tony, I mean, I think like.
Am I giving away too much?
No, I'm actually predicting that we're gonna have to get more space, and I don't know like if Smith Center, that auditorium, is already taken those dates or not, but
I don't know. I gotta check.
But if you can check, I might have some OGs who want to just make that happen right away.
Okay, so I'll check.
So, but I also know that Freddie Quotes is he's in the chat here, and I can tell you firsthand, because I hung out with him last weekend with RG3 and Kareem and everybody else that people saw there. About 15 Hexicans flew in from all over the US. And so I explained to Freddie what the plan is here, and he immediately bought a ticket and started talking to all the other Hex musicians, right? And because we've got tons of Hex rappers and song creators and stuff. And so we actually, Tony and I were standing in between these giant buildings.
There's a courtyard.
And there's a courtyard that is going to be a fantastic place to have an outdoor concert. It's going to be our own, nightclub concert experience. They're going to be able to build a stage for exactly what we want. And Freddie said that he's already speaking to all the other Hex music creators, and they're ready to do it. They're signed up. They've agreed. And so that's
so it's all we it's part of our deal where we have the conference, the business part from 9 to 5 is going to be, the speakers and all that stuff. That's going to be indoor inside the conference building on a big stage. However, the nightclub at night, it's going to be outdoor. It's going to be in March, so should be should be really nice weather. The only thing that would not, if weather permitting, obviously. So most likely it's going to be outdoor, the concert, and then if not, we'll move it inside. That's the contingency plan. However, most likely it's going to be outdoor because it rains only a couple of days in the year in Vegas, and it's going to be March, so it's going to be really nice outside. So, good weather usually, and so it's going to be really off the hook. They're gonna decorate it and everything. It's going to be a nightclub. Like they're going to have the full bar in the middle. For drinks, there's going to be a alcohol service, like bottle service. They're going to be little cabanas, little VIP like sitting areas and table service that you guys going to have. And then you're gonna have the big dance. You can do your moves, your best dance moves on the
do the Richard Hart dance.
That's right, do the Richard Hart dance. And it's a concert, so we're gonna have live music. We're gonna have DJs. So awesome.
And then, of course, the new Freddie Quotes song is dropping probably in the next couple of weeks here, and so that hype is gonna probably go viral. It's going to bring a lot of other people in crypto to Pulse and Hex. And so it's going to be history in the making to have a live performance of that and all the other songs. We've already got Naga Bo said, because he has like a sound sample in the song. So we've already got Freddie and Naga like teaming up, ready to do their first live performance together. And who knows, maybe both of them will pop up on the road trip, and so it won't be the first, but either way, I know that there's going to be a lot of hype behind that.
So I think we're going to be, it's just Hexicans. So, we're and it's you definitely need your ticket to get in. So, yeah, get your ticket now as soon as possible, because we are limiting our tickets because of space, right?
Yeah. Well, and because with my accurate predictions, I believe we will have to turn people away no matter how many tickets we create. Because this community is growing out of control. I mean, you can see 500 new people per day are becoming stakers just on the Staker app metrics alone. So, I mean, that's without the road trip being very old, right? Being having gained steam. That's without, everybody planning to work together for the conference and to work together to promote Freddie Quotes's awesome song.
Yeah, so
eulogy.
People that are still on the fence and there's like, oh, there's a lot of time to get my ticket. I don't think so, because you got to understand, we're promoting the Hexpo.Vegas in each workshop. So we're
even
so
if
people are getting new Hexicans want to come to the venue. So
even if we doubled the number of tickets, or even if we tripled them, Hex is making millionaires faster than even the maximum capacity. Well, no, I shouldn't say. Right now, even if we doubled the space, I would say if we doubled the space, we'd be able to fit all the millionaires now. But as soon as that price doubles, then it's like, no way. We're like only 2/3 of the millionaires can fit. And then we double the price again, which we do every 2 months. Now we're talking only 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 Hex millionaires can be there. And so those numbers get away from you really quickly, especially if you believe this liquidity story of less liquidity means more pump.
So anyways,
it's going to be raining Hex is what DJ Pollywood says.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be.
So it might not rain in the desert.
If you notice, guys, what I want to point out is that we chose this venue for a specific reason. It's not tied to a casino. So
I love that.
Because we want to have our own space, our own, where we can have a lot of room to flex Hex, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you guys want to, we are going to be dropping links to get your hotel rooms and hotel stays on a discount. Watch for those coming up pretty soon. My focus of this last month was, I apologize, guys, I haven't dropped that yet. However, my focus was getting the Hex tour going. Now that that's going, I'm going to start focusing on my efforts on the convention. And so you'll see those discounted hotel prices for you guys very soon on the website. So definitely check on the hexconference.com for those in the near future. We'll be announcing those anyways, so you can, just check on our streams. So we do updates on the conference every 2 weeks, every other Saturday. So,
and here I've got an answer to a question in the chat from Dr. Moore. A question: will tickets be transferable? So here I've got a section on hexconference.com that says, can I get a refund? Refunds are not allowed, and transfers are at the sole discretion of the conference organizers. To apply for a ticket transfer, you must not charge more than you paid, and both you and the person you transfer to must email me and wait for a confirmation. So yes, we have a method for that. People have already asked. Some people want to give away tickets. We're asking, if you give away tickets, to not interfere with the game theory of ticket sales. So don't tell people, wait 6 months and then you'll find out who won. Like if you're giving away tickets, give them away so that people know if they won, and then they can buy, they can be motivated to buy their ticket even if they don't win from your giveaway. And maybe even target people who, who aren't going to be able to afford a ticket themselves. People who are not Hex millionaires, maybe. But each person can decide for themselves. And I would just ask that you communicate with me so that we make sure we have the tickets assigned to the right people. And so you communicate far enough ahead of time as well.
Yeah. So a lot of the people on the chat is talking about hotels. We are going to have a host hotel, what they call host hotel.
So Tony, let's hold off on announcing that until next week, if that's okay.
Okay, sounds good. That's fine.
And that way we'll be able to discuss more about the organization of that. And so excellent question, Dr. Moore, because I know some people are saying like, they're not sure what the travel restrictions are going to be and that sort of thing. And we don't know what the international rules are going to be, but last time there were major lockdowns, it seemed like there were still workarounds. So for example, when Europeans couldn't travel to the US and Abid and Patrick wanted to come, they simply went through Mexico. So Europe allowed them to fly to Mexico, and then Mexico allowed them to fly to the US. So in some cases, it's just picking the right route. And then what you've heard about not being able to do travel is not relevant, or it doesn't apply anymore. But in other cases, travel is totally limited. And in that case, we want you to have a plan to be able to transfer to somebody else so that, because there are no refunds, because the conference is funding itself. So we're paying we're taking all the money, and we're paying the expenses of the conference. So maybe 50 cents on this stream.
Nice.
That would be epic. That would be epic.
That would be nice.
I'd be okay with that. It's 47.9.
47.9 right now.
Wow. That's a 20% in 24-hour pump. Awesome. So yes. So there are answers to other questions here. I'm going to keep adding more as people ask me questions. I'm going to keep adding more information here so that everybody has the right information. But for right now, this is what you need to know. Go ahead and get a ticket now. Go to hexticket.com if there are any left by the time you're watching this. And if not, then tune in for Quanking on Tuesdays and get your ticket then when we release the new batch. And the last thing that I said we were going to release today is to tell you how to apply to give a talk.
Yep.
And so you'll be able to learn more as you're filling out the survey as to what the formats are and what the options are. But to just give you an idea, because I wanted to kind of prepare something. So it's so here are some of the suggested categories. Okay, so this isn't telling you what your talk would be called, but this is just to get you thinking of all the different categories that could exist. So security. So we're gonna have workshops, we're gonna have panels, and we're gonna have talks. And then we're also gonna have keynotes. Okay. And so a panel is where you're talking with more than one person. A workshop is where it looks a lot like a panel, except you're doing something practical, like migrating a wallet, you're going over the steps and you're getting a handout with the steps of how to migrate from MetaMask to Trezor or Ledger or whatever it is, right? And how to, so there's going to be, but I think a lot of these things are going to be tending towards intermediate to advanced topics. And then what we can try to do is work with all the people who are giving the talks to make sure that they're able to give kind of their introductory speeches ahead of time so that people already have the foundational education. And that's another reason for Hexpo.online is that the panels and the workshop teams that are going to be going into advanced topics will be able to give the basic topics ahead of time at Hexpo.online. So, so that'll give everybody the base knowledge that they need. So those are the different presentation formats. And then the categories again are security, macroeconomics, game theory, developer, hex history, leadership, community, and networking, testimonials and hex flex, onboarding and marketing and social psychology, positive behavior change and mental health, financial and business and tax planning, technical analysis, staking strategies, and the final category is like a separate, so it's called Hex Streamers, and it's a free exhibition hall booth. So you don't have to be on stage, but you'll just be in a exhibition hall where you can either be streaming live or just meeting your fans without streaming. So,
right. So yeah, if you're already a streamer or you want to launch your stream, this is a great way to onboard. So,
and so I'm going to drop the link here. If people want to be presenting in any of those categories or topics, then you're going to go to hexsurvey.com. And we can't guarantee that everybody who wants to talk will be able to have a talk, but I can tell you we're super flexible right now to try to include everybody. If somebody wants to give a talk about, something that's completely unrelated, like, they're shilling something else, then we might not have room for that. Whereas I've already heard from people who gave beautiful proposals on topics that haven't been really discussed that much in the Hex community, but they convinced us that they are going to have a really awesome presentation for people. So, so that's kind of the balance that we're striking there. And so you're going to go to hexsurvey.com to apply to be a speaker. And you're going to go to hexticket.com to get a ticket. And you're going to go to hexconference.com to learn more. And that's all I've got for today. Tony, did you have anything else?
No, that's it. Just follow us on FreedomTV.info if you want to know what's the dates in your neighborhood. And also, of course, you can follow us on YouTube if you guys want to see the results, what we're doing, some of the highlights of what's going on in each workshop. So that's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much for everybody for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button. Enjoy these all-time highs and stake wisely, my friends.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.
Richard, do you think the Matrix will allow you to release crypto code that is superior to that of Bitcoin and gives decentralized financial freedom to all? What? You already released it? Oh, we better stop gatekeeping. Congrats on 100,000 Twitter subs. Yeah.